the NFL Week 1, it is done. Well, Sunday-wise, and Sunday specifically had a ton of storylines. Honestly, pretty good first week of football. I've been a little worried about what the product's going to look like. Some teams got absolutely murdered, but some of these young quarterbacks actually emerged too and gave me some hope for the quarterbacks of the future. So, first off, and we'll do these ones quick, let's talk about the Dolphins. The Brian Flores now led AFC East Miami Dolphins. My goodness. 59 to 10 to the Baltimore Ravens. 59 to 10. It was such a bad beating and so embarrassing that there are reports now that multiple players are talking to their agents requesting to be traded from the team.
They
So
probably wouldn't
guys,
mind playing in the CFL.
yeah, honestly, after that beatdown, bad. It's the one time I've ever felt good going for the Patriots going into Miami. Marv, what do you have to say about the Dolphins?
The Dolphins are so sorry. And they better, this better be like a red shirt year for Brian Flores. I don't want no slander on Brian Flores because this is not what he signed up for. He came in and they
It's
said, yeah,
so bad.
we're gonna take away your best offensive lineman. Yeah, we're gonna take away your best receivers. Matter of fact, we're gonna give you this Ryan Fitzpatrick guy who only plays half games. He never plays a full game once he gets going. So I hope this does not get put onto our buddy Brian Flores at all. Dolphins suck. They're gonna be really embarrassing this year. And the fact that players are already mentally checked out week one, oh man, this is not gonna be pretty.
Requesting to be traded after the first game it's let me tell you something. Not a good sign for your team. Mike, what do you think? What do you have to say about the Dolphins?
That that storyline that came out across my phone, that notification of players are calling their agents to request out of Miami. That might have been one of the most wildest notification I'd ever seen because that just goes to show you, like after the game, and the players walk back into the locker room and sit at their lockers. What the hell did they talk about in the locker room? Like, I want to. I
We're
wish
as bad as we thought we were going to be.
to be a fly on the wall in that locker room after a loss
Pissed.
like that. Like I'm probably walking through the tunnel, taking my jersey off, tossing it into the stands or something. Like I don't know. That's embarrassing. And if I don't see it getting any better for the Miami
Not
Dolphins
this
as the
year.
season progresses. It's not going to get any prettier. Maybe they won't lose and give up 59 points, but I don't see them having a pretty bright future, at least in terms of this season.
Yeah, Marv, I was going to say what you said too about Brian Flores. I don't want to hear any bad talk about Brian Flores right now. Maybe once they start actually getting real players on the NFL roster, okay, sure, then we can start crap talking Brian Flores. But for right now, you can't. This team is just bad. The personnel on this team might not be good enough to win a game this season. All right, next, part of the reason why the Dolphins lost 59 to 10, Lamar Jackson proving that he can actually be a legitimate passing threat. So Lamar Jackson, let me read the stats: 17 for 20, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Guys, Lamar Jackson looked like he had some zip on the ball, and he was very accurate during the Dolphins game yesterday. So, what do you have to say about Lamar Jackson? Do you think this is a sign of this kid having a bright future, or I don't really know where you guys stand on him. Did you guys buy in on him last year? Mike, we'll start with you.
Uh, I don't know. I feel as if he had a good game. Don't get me
He's
wrong.
he's tough. He's a
He,
tough one.
I think he's a talented kid. He's a talented kid, and there's a reason why the Ravens are all in on making him their starting quarterback of the future. But the Miami Dolphins suck, and I mean, I think any quarterback in the league probably could have stepped up in that game against Miami and did that well. Doesn't matter what quarterback it is. So not to take away anything from Lamar Jackson and his performance, like I said, I think he's a solid quarterback, and the future's bright for him. The future's bright. That Baltimore team, they have a lot of weapons over there, but he put up great stats against a sucky ass team like the Miami Dolphins. So good week one. Obviously continue having success for him personally, but that's a highlight tape of that week one against the Dolphins. He'll be able to play back for years and years and years to come.
All right, guys, the Patriots Roundtable is powered by betonline.ag. Head over to betonline.ag and use promo code CLNS50 to receive your welcome bonus. All right, Marv, what do you think? Lamar Jackson.
Love Lamar Jackson. Wanted Patriots to pick him up the year he got drafted, as the backup quarterback. Lamar, everyone keeps I feel like we forget that when he took over for Flacco, the Ravens started winning. Did we forget that? Yes, his numbers weren't crazy. Was he the most accurate quarterback? No, but he was producing wins, brought them to the playoffs, and then yes, he got exposed
Well,
by the Chargers.
it's recency bias because the last thing we remember is the playoffs where he looked
Yeah, we
bad.
remember the Chargers and he got exposed as a rookie quarterback. Now we saw in this game, he didn't even want to run the ball. Obviously, it's against the Dolphins. And like Mike said, everyone's going to look good against the Dolphins. I bet Josh Rosen looks pretty damn good in practice. But Lamar Jackson went up there and he delivered. He still got to throw the ball and he was still accurate and he's got weapons this year. Hollywood Brown looks scary. Mark Andrews, he has rapport with him, and then you give him Mark Ingram as well. That we know he can get busy in the passing game as well. So you gave Lamar Jackson some weapons. I think the future is really bright. We know his talent. This guy's got to be one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen. So now he just needs to start putting it together. And I think Lamar Jackson is in for a big year.
Yeah, I'm excited for Lamar Jackson. I'm ready to see what he can do as the starting quarterback for an entire season. And the zip on the ball, I was very impressed with his arm strength yesterday and the accuracy that he had. He looked like a legitimate passer, but in all caps here in my notes, it's the Dolphins. Let's
Yep.
calm down.
That's it.
I want to see him go up against a legitimate team, and I want to see him do that against a legitimate team. And yeah, he's got a receiving threat now, or a couple of them. Hollywood Brown looked damn good too. But
Antonio Brown's cousin.
oh, I didn't know that actually.
I think I heard
Yep.
that morning. Yeah.
But again, Dolphins, I'm not going to buy in on Lamar Jackson yet until he shows me that against some better competition. All right, last one. Let's wrap it up here quickly. OBJ watch and the Browns piss poor effort. So a lot of hype going into this team heading into the season. They got rolled by the Tennessee Titans 43-10. Baker Mayfield 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. What do you have to say about the Cleveland Browns game yesterday? And should we start paying attention to Odell Beckham Jr.? Because as we know, part of the reason he wanted to go to the Browns was let's get some wins. Marvel, start with you.
First of all, OBJ didn't want to go to the Browns. He he got traded to the Browns, and then he had to accept the fact, okay, this team's going to be pretty damn good with me.
Okay.
But I'm not surprised by Cleveland's loss at all. I feel like I'm one of the only ones that didn't jump on this bandwagon that Cleveland's
I
going to
bought
make
in.
the
I was
playoffs.
all in.
Me too.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And last night just shows it to me. Delaney Walker pretty much told us why. They are who we thought they were. I mean, we gotta calm down. All this team knows is losing. Now that you, now that you got a couple free agents, the switch doesn't flip and be like, okay, we are winners. No. Did Baker Mayfield look good? Yes. Does he have promise? He sure does. But there's tape on you now. I think I even said it on Double M with Mike. Now there's tape on Baker Mayfield. We know what he's about. And Titans are a good defense, and they exposed Baker really bad. It's only a matter of time where Odell's like, nah, what's going on over here? I just left Eli. Now you're gonna bring me Baker, who's throwing interceptions as well. Like it's a team to watch because there was a lot of hype on Cleveland, and teams don't like that. When you just anoint a team out of nowhere for no reason, teams are gonna go after you a little harder, and that's what happens right now. Delaney Walker. When have we ever heard Delaney Walker say anything? If
Yeah.
he's talking smack, that just gives you an idea of what the NFL really thinks of the Cleveland Browns. And this is gonna happen week by week. People are really gonna test them.
All right, Mike, what do you think? Cleveland Browns and OBJ.
Delaney Walker is his interview had me in tears. They are who we thought they were. If you want to crowd them, then go ahead and crowd them, but you still got to play football. And Marv said it best. That team just knows they don't know anything else but to lose.
That's
And
it.
The fans, man.
the thing is, I was keeping up with that game a little bit because, like you said, Nick, I jumped on the bandwagon. I want to see. I like Baker Mayfield. I want to see that team be successful, and it started off pretty nice for them. Baker Mayfield was holding his own. Stats were decent to start the game, and then somewhere along the line of that game, they just said, "Oh, we're Cleveland," and it just went downhill from there. Interception, interception, incompletion, turnover. Like
Back to
things
back to back. It
things
was
fell apart really fast for them. Like the game was like the game was like 10-10 at one point. I think something like that. Next thing you know, you go take a bite of a sandwich or something, come back, it's like 38-10. It was bad. It got really bad for Cleveland. And I mean, obviously, they're gonna look to bounce back. But I think because it's a double whammy for them. Because first of all, they're the Cleveland Browns, so that sucky aura is already around them. And then two, the fact that, like Marv said, they got anointed as the next team to really be up and coming. Team's gonna want to kick their ass. So now that the Cleveland Browns and teams really want to kick your ass, it's just not a good combination for them right now. So I wish them luck. I hope Cleveland finds some success. But sheesh, that first game, if that was a sign of things to come, yuck. But then again, that's what they do, baby.
Dude, put Cleveland Browns fans on suicide watch right now. I already saw people burning Browns jerseys yesterday.
Wow.
I mean, you bring in OBJ, you get this fan base, you get this insane fan base who's throwing parades in the street for not even Super Bowl wins, just for losing. These guys, I just feel bad for Browns fans. They thought this team was going to be legitimate, and sure, it still has a chance. I'm not giving up on the team fully, but boy, did they look bad. There was one pass. I was watching this game live. There was one pass where Baker Mayfield threw an interception. He did not look the defensive backs away, even for a second. He was staring at his target, just screaming, I'm going to throw this ball here, and it got undercut. The Browns are the Browns. This is what they do. They could have the best roster out there. They could have the Patriots roster right now, and I don't know if they'd win.
They're not winning.
You know what's bad? I feel like, and I could be wrong, I might be wrong, I'm sorry. I feel like I heard a stat line that since Logan Ryan, the former Patriot, has gone to Tennessee, he is yet to pick off a pass. You know when he got his first pick? Off Baker Mayfield.
Even Malcolm Butler got a pick six.
Even Malcolm Butler got a pick six. Like,
I mean,
it's
what a day.
The thing that's concerning about Cleveland is, okay, their offense had a bad game, but what Cleveland's strength was last year was their defense. Their defense was surprisingly really good. They let bum-ass Marcus Mariota sling it on them, and Derrick Henry got busy on them as well. So that defense in Cleveland is probably not as great as we thought it was going to be as well.